No, I don't need a degree to know this ain't love at first sight. 'Cause I know how this works, I got my ABCs right. Oh, so let's play pretend. 'Cause say you'll be the one for me, say you'll be the one for me forever. I know this will end tonight, but you'll be the one for me, say you'll be the one for me. It's been so long since I got so close to someone. I know this ain't love, but let me stay a while. And pull me closer tonight, keep holding my hand. I know this ain't love, but let me stay the night. I said let me stay a while. 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 And I said let me stay a while. I said let me stay a while. I said let me stay a
Damn, Marty, show the clip.
Drew,
I got weak knees right now.
bro.
They didn't have the nerve to be $200. I'm like, bro, these are trash, bro. I'm not wearing these. I'm taking these back.
I said the Grizzlies have shooters.
She's above Netflix, so $12 a month. That's mellow ball right there.
We got Melo.
Purse.
All right,
We sweat it out
Now y'all
to
need-
the end. Hey, yo, welcome to another episode of Wager Chasers. We out for a second week in a row. Thank God. To the new studio. Hope you guys like the new setup. Welcome back. Debo, what's popping, baby?
Hey, what it do?
Scotty Mac, what's popping? What's going on?
What up?
Y'all feeling good today?
Feeling great, man. I'm feeling real fine. Man, how you feeling? It's a beautiful sunny day. Hot day in sunny Arizona, but I'm going to be all right.
Bet. Scotty?
Are you still not traded? So far, so good. We broke the news last week. They were supposed to get traded. Here we are 7 days
You
later.
said you had a credible source. I
And
don't know
nothing.
what happened.
It's pretty Ricky. Oh, yeah, you saw the whole Twitter sphere every day. It was going to get traded. Deal's done. Not happening.
Because like in the middle of the show is like that's when
We
we got
broke
the
it.
news.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh,
I was the
damn.
first one, but you saw it all over Twitter, all over everybody talking about it all week long, and here we are.
Do you
Nothing
think he's gonna
happened.
stay,
I think at this point now he stays.
or does he go to the Steelers?
It's us or the Steelers, give or take. I think if the Steelers up their offer, Niners are willing to trade him, but they don't up their offer. He's staying.
I just think that like even with like Brandon going to the Steelers, I think for Brandon, like yeah, he gets paid, but he's not gonna. I don't know if that's gonna make that much of a difference if he had the quarterback situation isn't like been settled yet.
No, I think it's settled for at least this season, but we can talk about that later.
Yeah,
Put him in a coffin.
But here's the thing. I mean, it's not like he's going to the Patriots. Steelers are still good every year. The Steelers have a good culture and a
Mike
good,
Tomlin, man.
winning formula. So, like, you're going from a great franchise to a great franchise. Yeah, they don't have the weapons that the Niners have, but it's not like he's going to the slum village.
That's true.
That's definitely true, for sure.
It's not like he's going to the Panthers.
or the Patriots.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. They do have some quarterback controversy over there, so you never know.
That's true. Well, we'll be covering a little bit more on that. On top of that, we're going to be covering the AFC East finding out like what our, give you our opinions about what our predictions are going to be for the year. Also with the NFC East and a little drama, around NFL. But first, we're going to definitely cover Olympics. Olympics just ended. Well, it didn't just end. It's still, I think there's.
I think it is.
Oh, it's
I think
over.
it is over, right? Over
done.
yesterday.
Yeah, it was
They
over.
passed the torch on to LA.
There you go. They did.
Yeah.
That's where it's next going to be at.
He had a little Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre performance. Had a little Red Hot Chili Pepper performance.
Oh, they already announced who they are?
Yeah, they already announced the.
I did not know
They did
that.
a little ceremony yesterday.
Did not know that. But I mean, one of the.
Come on, you didn't place a bet on the performance over under on who's coming out.
He did.
Yeah.
He put
Snoop
100.
Dogg coming out first, baby.
One of the notable events that happened over the weekend was the Olympics men's basketball. As we know, they did win their 17th gold medal on Saturday against France. I think the score was I think I have it here. It's like 98 to
97.
or 89 to 97.
98, 97.
87-98. Sorry, 87-98. I don't know.
For the women's. Or the men.
Men.
No, men's.
Men's,
Yeah,
men's.
Okay.
Yeah. So they won 98 to 97 with and won in spectacular fashion. For me, I think like the highlight for me was which was I think everybody's highlight, which was Steph Curry's daggers at the last minute of the game. He had 3 of them, but the one that was like that really caught everybody's eye was I think right around 30 seconds left, where he was being double teamed. When you have LeBron
Wide
and,
open.
I think was it LeBron and Booker?
Kevin Durant.
Or was it Kevin Durant wide open?
Yeah.
Because Kevin Durant passed it to him.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah, at the top of the key. He swung from the
No, I
top
think
of the key to the
LeBron
wing.
passed it to him. No.
No, it was Durant. It was balls to Durant. Durant came
went down
back.
to the post. Okay, so then that's what it was.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Nah, I'm
He's
gonna
like,
just
this is
take
on
it."
fire.
Double team.
To his defense, it was kind of a hard passing lane to get it to LeBron. So
For sure.
it's probably easier for him to throw the ball up in the air like he did than it was to pass it to
for
LeBron.
sure. Double team,
And
fade
there was
away.
6 seconds left on the shot clock when do it up.
2 people in his face.
2 people. In
2
his
people,
face.
3 people. Wembanyama is like an alien with 2 people.
For sure. Well, there was one 3-point shot where Wemby went up to go and try to block it.
Yeah.
He took it out, but he still had it taken out and went in anyway.
Yeah, he shot it
There's
like
like
a
a
floater.
picture of it. Like
He
it's
shot it
insane.
like- it is. He
Wemby
shot
looked
it
like this
floater.
extra go gadget arm alien
Christ.
compared to Steph after that shot. It was just
Yeah, he
insane.
did. Was.
But
Steph being Steph.
I mean, Marty, do we actually have that highlight for the Steph? I actually want to.
You also
Oh
got to
my
pass it
God.
back to him.
Oh my god!
They were in the passing
He
lane.
was wide open. The balls to shoot that, bro. Only Steph Curry.
Only Steph Curry.
Only Steph Curry.
If that goes to LeBron or Durant, though, do they make it?
No,
Kevin Durant might. Not LeBron, though.
I don't know.
That's not LeBron's shot.
It's just, I mean, we gotta admit, Steph Curry was like literally the guy for the last 2 games. There was no one's messing with him. He had 36 points the game before, right
yeah,
against
he did.
Serbia.
Yeah, he finally showed up to Paris after taking the first week off. That's what Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards got caught on camera saying, "It was like nice of you to show up to Paris 2 days ago."
Dang,
right.
crazy.
Jeez.
But I mean, look, I think LeBron took the MVP for the Olympics
did,
as well. Which I'm
they
not
gave-
mad.
they-
I'm not
they
completely
gave
mad
it
at
to
it. At
LeBron?
first, I was kind of mad at it
Yeah.
because I was like,
Wait. I didn't know they did Olympics for the MVP for the Olympics.
I didn't know either until
I don't know,
I
but
saw the post. But
yeah,
apparently
I don't know if
LeBron
it's
got
an
it
official trophy presentation, but he got MVP.
for sure. He got MVP.
Well, he probably was the most consistent throughout.
And that's
Yeah,
what
he was.
I'm going to get to because in terms of LeBron, he averaged 14.2 points, 6.8 rebounds, and 8.5 assists throughout the whole Olympics. Right. Meanwhile, Steph Curry had 14.8, almost 15, three rebounds and 2.5 assists.
Right. You gotta give it to LeBron.
Yeah.
Statistically.
And so just to his point, it's nice of you to show up the last couple games of,
Real
of the
quick, since
Olympics.
well about breaking news and stuff on the air, LA just had a 4.7 earthquake live.
Oh, they did?
LA.
Yeah, LA just had a 4.7 on the Richter scale magnitude live earthquake. So
Like-
just
like-
FYI, I hope everybody's okay out there. Yeah, live, like just happened.
Oh,
Okay.
wow. Like heart of LA?
Yeah, it just hit LA right now, 4.7.
Crazy.
ESPN's got it where it shook everything live on the air, and everybody's posting about it now. So, plus everybody's okay out there, but that's a pretty solid earthquake.
For sure. I
Oh,
mean,
it is.
yeah. I
Surprised
mean,
we didn't feel a little
A little
little
something.
vibe here. Yeah, about 10 minutes ago. Surprised we
Yeah,
didn't.
sometimes people feel it out here.
Yeah. Anyways, back to it. We like
that's
breaking
crazy.
news live though.
Yeah, I hope everybody's okay up in LA. Sheesh, kind of lost my train of thought a little bit, but yeah. So just to kind of say, I know that LeBron won the MVP. I was like, man, why wasn't it Steph? Well, because LeBron was just much more consistent throughout the entire Olympics. So I give it to him. We'll see. We'll see. You know, that now that it's over, I mean, you know, who's going to be the next Olympics? I mean, I think we could count out Steph, LeBron, and KD. I think at this point, but for 2028 Summer Olympics for the next basketball team, who will stay? Is it going to be? Do you think Anthony Davis is staying? Is Jaylen Brown going to be on it?
I think Joel will be on it. I think Anthony Edwards obviously on it. This is kind of like the other day, but last week we were talking about like who would be on that 3-on-3 team that's like not playing Olympics. I mean,
true.
actually somebody put one out too, like Chet Holmgren was mentioned, possibly, and we talked about him last week.
Right.
Booker obviously will be there.
You think Booker will be back?
Yeah, Booker will be there. Yeah,
leadership.
Booker's still in his prime. Booker's got another 3, 4, 5 years up prime.
It's 4 years left.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
4
for
years
sure.
from now. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
I think Booker. He'll be that veteran. That's
you
that.
need that veteran. Him, Anthony Davis, Anthony Edwards,
I think Joel could still be there.
Joel.
I don't think Anthony Davis will be in there.
You need
He's
the
just-
vets.
Brunson.
Brunson could be there.
Brunson could. They were saying Jalen Williams, OKC. Yeah.
Yeah.
Will Jason Tatum be back?
Ooh. If Steve Kerr is
I think
the
he
coach,
get voted back, but
if
does he
Steve
want
Kerr
to
is the
play
coach,
again?
Right.
no.
For sure.
Not if Kerr's coaching.
I mean, I actually pulled up one of his stats. You know, he only played a total of 5.3 minutes in the entire Olympics.
It was trash.
Total.
That's crazy.
He hit the side of the backboard.
NBA
He wasn't
Finals
playing any
MVP.
defense. He got a dunk. That was it.
I'm sorry, I take that back. He scored 5.3 points.
How did he score 5.3 points?
That's just what it has here as the
he
details.
averaged or he scored?
I'm sorry, he played a total of 17.7 minutes
Okay.
and then had 5.3 points. Or that's just what the average shows on the thing. 5 points, 6 points. Less than 10, bro. That's all you need to
10
know.
points. Yeah, for sure.
So that's what I'm saying.
Trash.
Like, will he come back? I think it's gonna really have to. I think it's
Like
gonna
I
come down to
said,
like who's coming back.
Yeah, if Kerr's coaching, no. Someone else, yes.
Yeah, I mean, a lot can change in 4 years too. You know, a couple of these young guys stepping up, developing a little bit more.
It's true. Yeah.
Halliburton didn't get no burn.
Halliburton.
He didn't get any burn.
That's
either.
true.
Yeah, maybe I don't know.
Maybe he'll
he might
come back
step his
and
step up.
be a part of it.
But I think Halliburton is a good fit for an Olympic team. An international style basketball. He get the ball, he go. I mean, he's good in transition. You know
Sure.
what I mean? He's gonna play a fast pace. He can pass. You know what I mean? He moves it off the ball well.
I mean, if you look at most of the World Gold Cup teams, I mean, it is filled with veterans. Kind of the opposite of the NBA. It's heavy veterans, heavy leadership. I mean, the average age of this one. I mean, you look at the average age of all the gold medal teams. You know, some of the best, the dream teams were Jordan, Bird in their primes. Like at the end of it, wasn't like them being rookies.
Right.
So a lot of this is also like that veteran leadership when it comes down to Olympics. So you'll go get some of those older guys in there.
Yeah, I think it would be Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. I think you have to put Brunson in there. Definitely Halliburton. I'm definitely looking. I'm curious to see who's the centers are going to be in 4 years. Right. I would say Chet.
And Embiid could still be there.
I don't know if Embiid will be there by that time.
He might play for France this time.
He
Might
mentioned
switch it up.
he was asked if he was going to come back. He's like, I don't know. He
Yeah.
actually might not play for France. He was going to go for Morocco or something.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, okay.
we'll see. I felt like that was just interesting to
What
mention.
about Drew Holiday? You can't leave him out.
Drew Holiday would be in, but
Yeah,
a big. I'm
yeah.
talking about big though. Who
big.
big is going to be?
Yeah. We'll see.
You know,
Yeah.
it remains to be seen. But
What about the
definitely
women's
entertaining.
basketball? They won too.
Who?
Women's basketball.
Oh, they
The
smashed.
won. No, they barely won against France. They won by 1 point. That was a good game.
It was funny because the odds were minus 1350 for them to win.
Oh, was?
Minus 1350, bro.
Yeah, they won like 8 straight too. They won like 8 straight, and I think they won like 88 games in a row or something like that. Yeah.
It would have been a shame if they had lost, and it would have been a big uproar. Like they should have put the other two girls in there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
For
They
sure.
barely won. They won what? 67, 66. They won by 1. And the funny thing about it is,
I'm curious how that game ended. I might have to. I haven't watched it, but I want to actually probably check out the highlights to see like how did that even happen?
yeah, it was.
They're supposed to win by like 16.
Yeah, it was a close game. It was a close game too. Super close.
So, well, moving on, I want to talk about the NFC or AFC East. It's one of the most interesting divisions in the NFL right now. I think that just based on like a lot of the changes around the league, and you have some people that have some. I feel like some teams that have regressed, and some teams that have maybe stayed the same, and others that maybe improved. And I'm really curious to see what that's going to really look like. But as of right now, we have the Buffalo Bills to be at top from FanDuel. The New York Jets is right behind them at plus 170. You have the Miami Dolphins at plus 230, and New England at the bottom of the barrel at plus 2,400. These guys got no shot. No shot.
You put money on New England for the number 1 overall draft pick next year. If Carolina doesn't get it again.
Between them and Carolina, maybe even
hold on. Let
Giants.
me ask you a question. Who's New England's coach?
They have a new rookie coach.
Yes, the linebacker, Jordan Mayo.
Jordan Mayo?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to be trash. Trash. Belichick's out of there?
He's out of there. He got no job.
I like
Trash.
Mayo, but yeah.
Yeah, trash. Yeah, they're going to be bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, I mean, as if we can actually pull up the record, Marty. I mean, last year the Bills were the ones at the top, with winning 11 games, losing 6. The Dolphins were had the same exact record. Jets fell behind with 7-10, which, by the way, is pretty impressive without an Aaron Rodgers, with arguably probably the worst quarterback in the league last year. And then you have the Patriots at 4-13, who were just in shambles, literally. All season.
What was the Jets' record last year?
7-10.
Yeah,
with no Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
So even though it was a
Defense.
losing record, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I know what plus 165, plus 170 is essentially the same, but I'm actually surprised the Jets aren't the bigger favorite in this.
Yeah, if we can actually put back the odds for.
If you talk to most people, they're going to put their money on the Jets, and I think that's where a lot of money in this room is going this year is on the Jets.
Yeah,
I agree.
Sure.
I mean, these odds are not like
nothing crazy.
It's not that crazy. For sure.
I'm sprinkling $50 on the New England Patriots.
That's crazy. That's crazy. You just give me the $50 right here, bro.
I'm capped.
We go get some lunch right now.
I'm capped. It's going to take a miracle for the Patriots to get out of that division.
All right, real quick, let's talk about the Patriots because their offense has credibility. I say, obviously, rookie quarterback Drake May, if he can be what he's supposed to be, third number overall pick, but they got 2 stud receivers actually that they drafted.
Let's put up the schedule real quick for the New England Patriots.
They have a running game, so Patriots aren't they have no defense, and they have a lot of pieces they lost, but they could easily surprise some people with some offensive weapons. Just put it out there that Drake May once again relies on him, but if he lights it up as the 3rd overall pick, if he is the 3rd overall pick and the 3rd best quarterback in his draft class, Patriots could surprise a couple games this year.
I'm not sure. I think look. Belichick's gone. You got the new head coach. I think he's going to need some more experience. Definitely Drake May, but I don't think Drake May is going to play very little at all this season because you have Jacoby Brissett as the starting quarterback. That's
who's not bad.
Exactly. I know.
That's why they might win some games with him.
Yeah, no, they have a decent running back who they just played, Ramon Stevenson. But I mean, what else is there? You know what I mean? I mean, they definitely do have a solid defense, at least the core. But I don't know. It's really going to be determined on how this guy's going to coach for me. You know what I'm saying? And who is going to be at quarterback for majority of the season to see if they're going to do better than last year. But not enough for me to sprinkle $50 on.
It's not hard. It's not hard to be better than last year, though.
For sure, four wins.
They were trash last year.
Trash.
They had a trash quarterback.
Yeah, and so to that point, I mean, I think that if we could put up the FanDuel wins and losses for the Patriots, I believe FanDuel has it. Are they going to win or lose 4.5? Is it going to be under 4.5 or over 4.5?
The crazy part is I think they are a better football team than they were last year on paper as far as talent-wise. However, like you said, coaching and then based on their schedule, 4.5. That's why Vegas is good because 4.5 is tough.
4.5 is tough. I mean, look, they did. That's what they won last year. I think that they go over. I think they get a couple of fluke wins and get 5.
5 for sure.
I think they get 5.
So
I think they beat the Seahawks. I think they beat.
They had the Bears early, or no?
No, they have
10th.
them in the middle of the season, November 10th.
in Chicago,
Actually, towards the end.
I mean, that's a tough schedule. I mean, they're literally
It is a tough schedule.
everybody on that schedule outside of the Titans is projected to make. Everybody's expected and projected to make the playoffs except for the Titans.
Except for yeah.
Literally every team they play. I mean, they're playing the Jags. Obviously, play the Jets, Bills, Dolphins. The 2 wild cards in the division winner. They're expected to all make the playoffs. Niners, Seahawks. Seahawks could be, and Rams all could be.
Scotty,
There you go.
So for 4.5 wins, you taking the under?
I got to.
Now you got to take the under. That schedule's pretty tough. After you look at it.
I actually think they're going to win wins in there. You got
seen
to.
that
They
schedule?
they
You
do
seen
this
that
every year.
There'll be a division games they'll skate by with, but still, that's a pretty tough schedule.
It's a very tough schedule. I get it, but at the end of the day, Jacoby's is a drop. Juju Smith-Schuster. He's no longer on the team. But they did
he was
draft
trash, though.
a wide receiver.
Yeah, Jalen Polk.
Yeah. So
They got surprisingly some weapons.
young
Ramondre
studs.
Stevenson's a good running back. He's been there, so surprisingly they have a few weapons there, but we'll see.
So Debo, you said under 4.5.
I'll take the under 4.5.
I think it's going to be at
They'll
4
win
looking at the
3 games.
schedule. Yeah, as
They'll
much
win
as I
3
think they're
games.
going to surprise some people looking at that schedule.
If you had to choose for over under,
Under.
I'm gonna
They'll
have
win
to
3 games.
I'm gonna have to take the over here. I'm gonna have to take the over. Moving on to the next ones. Let's go to Let's go to the Buffalo Bills.
They've lost 8 starters from last year's team. 8 starters
Yes.
are no longer there.
Offense and defense.
Combined, yeah, but a lot of the defense got lost. So Leonard Floyd went to the Niners, obviously. That's their stud defensive end.
Yep.
They lost their Tre'Davious White, went to the Rams.
Yep.
He's an All-Pro cornerback. Probably top 3 in the league.
Yep.
And then they lost Terrell Pryor, still not signed. Their safety.
They also lost
Stephon Diggs went to the Titans.
and Gabe Davis.
And Gabe Davis, and once
Wait,
again,
they lost Gabe Davis too?
yeah, he went to
Yes.
the Jags.
He went to the Jags.
Wow. Trash.
So they
What
lost
did
a
they do?
lot of weapons. Now that they,
Wait. Why did they lose Gabe Davis? I know they lost Diggs.
they traded
Why?
Diggs. Davis was a free agent.
Okay, so
signed.
he just got more.
They just spent a first-round draft pick on everybody's favorite wide receiver, rookie wide receiver with all his comments, Keon Coleman. It's hard to not love that kid.
Yeah, so yeah, they got Keon Cole. He's supposed to be a stud, like super stud. I'm curious to see what he's gonna do.
How it translates to the NFL.
But you have Josh Allen at QB, like he's gonna make it work.
Yeah.
Especially when you don't have Gabe Davis anymore or Stephon Diggs, and Curtis Samuel.
Yep.
They
New
signed Curtis
weapon.
Samuel from the Commanders, who is also a veteran QB, but the Bills. To me,
For sure.
what do you think? Yeah, no.
No, I don't think Curtis Samuel's really going to be running those lot of routes. He's more of a gadget player, like screens out of the backfield, slants like that. Khalil Shakir is a receiver that's going to feel like Gabe Davis' role as far as the deep ball goes, and in the slot. But yes, Curtis Samuel will take the edge off the top, but I could see Samuel having a lot of those screens then around. Samuel plays more like that Debo role.
Question remains, I think the under over for the Bills is 10.5 wins. Are the Bills going to hit under over 10.5?
Under. That's easy.
3,
Their league.
4, 5,
That division is tough as hell.
6,
Aaron Rodgers is with the Jets.
7, 8. Yeah, that's
They
a
lost all
tough
those
schedule
players.
too.
Give them.
I remember we saying that. We're curious to look. AFC East looks like they got some of the toughest schedule because they play the NFC West, and they have their own inter-division games, so they got a tough schedule too. And they're playing, Jacksonville, Tennessee. That's an automatic. They got Houston, so they've got a tough schedule as well.
Oh yeah, they do.
So under over for you.
Jeez.
So I'm going under. Obviously, I said that team's depleted. And also, since I think we talked about it, I think Jets is going to take the division here. And we'll talk about that next. But I think under.
Under. I also take the under. I think they're actually.
Still think they make the playoffs, but I think they're 9-7.
I think they don't make the
I
playoffs.
don't think they make the playoffs.
I think they
There
go
you go.
8-9.
With that schedule.
I think they lose their first 5 games.
You think they're going to lose the Cardinals?
I think
Lose
that's
to the
another
Colts?
conversation that we need to have.
I'll
But
go
yes,
down.
I think that the Cardinals actually beat them.
No, that's the case. And there's a good chance they could 20th.
The first win's going to be October 20th against the Titans, and that's going to be like all headline news. Their secondary is weaker. Their offensive line is weaker. They have. We'll
Yeah,
see
they still got
see
Josh Allen.
Yeah, but I mean, how much beat is this quarterback going to take? You know what I'm saying?
No.
And it remains to be seen what their new wide receivers are going to do.
If
They
New,
still have a decent defense.
if New England wasn't that bad, Buffalo would be in that team that would go from worst to from first to worst. Whereas always the team that goes from worst to first, Buffalo would be in the running for first to worst in the division.
I agree. I think that they go 8-9 and don't make the playoffs, and they lose their first 6. That is my take on that. We will see. I definitely
So
take the
Xander
under.
says, "Smash the under."
Smash the fucking under, bro. Unless
That is a good under. That's probably the best. That's probably one of the best lines I think you can take this year. That's
absolutely.
guaranteed.
There's just too much. Overall, the team got weaker while their division
Got better.
Division got better.
Yep.
So I think
And they play a tough schedule.
Yeah. So
hella tough schedule.
now let's move on to the New York Jets.
Jets, Jets.
This Jets team is
Loaded.
nasty, bro.
They're loaded.
It is They made all the right
On
moves.
paper, they're loaded.
On paper, for sure. They're all they're set right here.
And they're only at over 9.5 wins. There you go. That's definitely an over.
For sure. So
Yeah,
that's
it's
why.
over.
Yeah, they're
Bills under, Jets over.
Yes, I think you would. I think
There's
you
your
would
two
have-
easiest bets you'll make of the season.
$3.99.
The thing,
As long as Aaron Rodgers doesn't bring the American flag out during the Niners on Monday Night Football.
I was just about to say
as
that.
long as
they're
Aaron
healthy,
Rodgers stays healthy.
for sure.
Yes.
So who's the backup quarterback for the Jets? The fact that no one knows is exactly what I'm talking about.
Wait, who was the quarterback last year? For them?
He's already gone. He's
gone?
He went to
That's pretty boy.
yeah. Where'd he go? Denver.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm going to try the Denver.
So yeah, I want to look that up, but I mean,
Nobody. That's all.
look.
Marty McFly.
Actually, Tyrod Taylor.
Oh, Tyrod Taylor. Not
Yeah.
bad. Solid.
There you go. Better than backfield.
Better than what's his face?
Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson. Yeah.
Zach Wilson.
Well, like
Yeah.
I said,
Maybe.
last year the Jets went 7-10 without an Aaron Rodgers, and as that's a very surprising record considering that the quarterback that played for them all year was arguably closest to if not the worst, closest to the worst
In the league.
in the entire league. So
Hey, Scotty, let me ask you this. Have you heard anything about Aaron Rodgers? What he's been doing in training in camp?
Yeah, tearing it up. Unbelievable. Can't stop him. Him and Garrett Wilson are unstoppable. So
Oh yeah.
here's your first fantasy pick. Move Garrett Wilson. If they're healthy, Garrett Wilson has 15 touchdowns this year. He's Devontae Adams with Rodgers. It's a hard connection. They literally said unstoppable in camp. Rodgers doesn't throw picks. It's just impossible to stop him.
Sheesh.
Once again, Rodgers' downfall though is always in pressure. So camp there is no pressure. He knows he's not going to get hit. So that's where you get to Rodgers. So, but once again, if Rodgers is upright, he stays healthy. Jets invested a first-round draft pick into another lineman. That was their only weak link on the roster is that offensive line. They're loaded at receiver. Remember, they got so Garrett Wilson.
They got a couple Packer boys, didn't they?
Yes, they got what's his face from the
Lazard.
Packers? Yeah, Lazard from the Packers, and then they got Mike Williams. If he stays healthy,
They got Mike
I
Williams
mean,
for
he
the
was a
Chargers.
stud
As
for
long
the
as he
Chargers. They
stays
said as long as he
healthy.
stays healthy. So
Yeah.
they've got that, and then obviously Tyler Conklin at tight end. He's one of my sleeper picks this year in fantasy. Brees Hall is the top 3 running back this
but
year
also
in the
they
NFL.
also drafted from the kid from Wisconsin.
Yeah, Braylon Allen.
And he's awesome.
He's a stud. So they're loaded on offense, and their defense is bad. They have the best cornerback in the NFL by far. Sauce Gardner is the top shutdown cornerback. Obviously, their defensive line is
nasty.
loaded.
The
so
defense is C.J. Mosley, Sauce Gardner, Quincy Williams, D.J. Reed, Javon Kinlaw, and then Jermaine Johnson. It's absolutely
that's a stud.
ridiculous.
And they got Debo Lottie playing safety. Oh my God. The Jets. Jets.
Jets will make their return to the playoff, and actually, we'll have those blinds pulled up yet. But Jets is actually my AFC champion pick this year.
Ooh, nasty.
If they stay healthy,
That's nasty work right there.
AFC champion, Niners versus Jets.
Yeah, I mean everything that you said was exactly what I was going to say. They got better on the offensive line. Which was going to protect Aaron Rodgers, which is what they need.
Right.
And they even took they added Tyron Smith, like which you said. They drafted Aloof, what's his name? Aloof Fashandu or whatever.
Yep. Fashanu.
But yeah, I mean, you got all your weapons with Aaron Rodgers. I don't care how much ayahuasca this motherfucker's taking. He's dumping it on somebody on the Jets. This is probably if it's not going to be the Bills' decline. If I'm going to take an over at 9.5 wins, this has to be. If you pull up the schedule, like
I mean, it's just kind of like that Patriots situation where the Bills. We know who Josh Allen is. Josh Allen's a stud and it's going to win. But like, there's that certain point though. So obviously, as we say, we're going to take the Jets. We think they're going to be good. As Rodgers, when does he hit that cliff? So he was gone last year.
Right.
We haven't seen him play in 2 years. And even at the end of the previous season, he started hit like, so that is one question. So you asked, yes, he's starting up in camp, but when does Rodgers hit that cliff?
I mean, with
he's
the squad
40.
like that right now,
He's 40.
Like, yeah, he's 40. If he stays
Brady
healthy all
plays
season
football.
long,
There's only
then
one
next-
Tom Brady.
Then maybe at the end of next year.
So something to keep in mind, Rodgers.
Sure.
But
So
yeah.
do they win? So do they win their first game in San Francisco?
No, it was
No,
Monday night.
They lose. Yeah, I think they lose. Too.
Yeah.
But I mean, arguably, if you pull up that schedule, I mean,
After that, they go on a nice little.
oh
trip.
man,
Yeah.
man.
They're gonna
Put on 85 on the Cadillac, my G. It's on cruise control. They're killing the Patriots. They're smashing the Vikings. They're winning
Beat the
against the
Steelers.
Steelers. They're gonna win against
That would be a good game. That Halloween game. That's Thursday
Houston
night
Texans.
football, too. That's actually a good Thursday night game.
But like to your point earlier from last week,
Colts, Seahawks,
yeah,
Jags,
Colts, Seahawks, yeah.
Bills. Yeah,
The
then they go on
defense
a
is going to
tear.
destroy half of this schedule
Yeah, then they go on
by
a tear.
themselves.
The Bills.
Titans.
They're going to tear.
Like
Titans, Broncos,
yeah.
Yeah.
Patriots. So
They might, they might win 13
honestly, why
games.
does Vegas have them at 9.5? I mean,
They might win 13, 14 games.
yeah.
I actually have them at 12-5.
I think they split with the Bills, and I could see them splitting with the Dolphins, the division games.
Those are the ones I definitely have.
They'll lose to the Niners and maybe the Texans or one trip up game. It's going to happen.
And they might lose the last game just because of the current position in the AFC, and they want to sit out like whoever they sit
the
out.
veterans, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
12-5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
they win
solid.
12 they win 12 games easy if Aaron Rodgers stays healthy.
Correct.
Yeah.
Which even with Tyrod Taylor, like he
Management
might
is
he'll
just-
That
Yeah,
defense,
management-
they won
management
7
is-
without Rodgers last year. I mean,
exactly.
and 9.5. So you're essentially saying is Rodgers only moving this team 3 wins?
That's what the books are saying.
That's what the books are saying.
That's kind of
That means
mad
smash
disrespectful.
that.
Yeah, that's mad disrespectful.
That's a G right there. Just-
Easy. If you got the bread,
but it is at native 162. So I mean, even though it is 9.5, Vegas knows that it's a pretty good chance they win that.
Yeah, for real.
yeah,
Let's see if you can buy that up to 10.5.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, basically, we're saying if there is no Aaron Rodgers, can Tyrod Taylor get 11 games?
No.
No, but we're saying, yeah, we just need Rodgers healthy for 4
Right,
to
exactly.
move the needle 3.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
So
I love it.
that's an easy one.
That's an easy one.
And I do think that is one that you find a book that can actually buy that up to 10.5.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you could.
That way you get better odds. At least
Yeah,
get that
I'm
down.
pretty sure you could.
get that down to native 115, 110.
Yeah, if you're definitely betting on these futures, you want to line shop these because you're going to hold the money for that long, and line shop it, and choose a book that's going to give you better odds and a better spread. So that's what I would do. Moving on, let's go to the last but not least is going to be the Miami Dolphins. We can actually put that.
So
schedule
Dolphins is really easy to project their win streak. If the temperature is above 45 degrees, they have a chance to win. If the temperature falls below 45,
up. You just got to worry the forecast.
just put a loss on them. Just follow that temperature. So Green Bay, November 29th, loss. Mark that one on the calendar. Put a bet in for that now.
Green Bay.
Tua and the Dolphins cannot play in cold
cold weather.
temperature.
Cold weather, for sure. That is true.
But
Until they prove they can, I'm 100% with you.
But look how that schedule went for them. It's actually crucial because they got to go at Green Bay November 29th. That's already called. They're at Cleveland December 30th. Cleveland stud. Then they're at the Jets.
That's true.
Oh, yeah. They're going to lose at the Jets. They're going to lose at the Cleveland. At Green Bay.
I mean, the NFL said screw them. Put them in cold weather games till the end of the year.
Yeah, that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
So that's one of those ones where if you get a Dolphins or start off 7-3 or something like
But
that,
then they'll start
pay
declining towards it,
attention
it's
and then
going-
go ahead and take that.
That's actually
take that
really
reverse
interesting,
bet. Those are
like-
betting lines. It's an in-season live bet. So if they start out on fire, which they will, look at their easy schedule at the beginning. Then you go smash that for them to fall off and trip at the end because of that cold weather schedule.
Scotty Too Hottie, you might know something. You might know something. Scotty Too
My
Hottie,
first rodeo.
You
Right.
might know a little something.
Just
about
pay
the
attention to the
about
weather.
football
Meanwhile, I'm
thing.
over here like, well, last year,
right.
and give you some stats from last year. But I mean, they did go 10-7. They did have the same record as the Bills. And then they ended up losing the first round against the Chiefs, right? So, but I mean, overall, this team pretty much stayed the same.
They lost their best defensive player, Lawrence Phillips. He signed a
Yes.
massive contract with the Raiders, and he was probably last year's best defensive tackle. He's the new who's gonna have Rams brain fart, but he's the new stud defensive tackle in the league. So they did technically slightly get a little worse on the defensive side.
On the defensive side, for sure. I mean, look, I think this team, it mimics a lot of what the Houston Texans are for me. Lots of great offensive weapons, but they lack a defense here. Which is, if you notice, last year they were like, I think, top 5 in the most points allowed in every game.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah,
Because there are a lot of shootouts. There's a lot of high scoring games.
I didn't know that.
I think they run the most plays in the NFL. So it's always high powered, high pace, and that allows for a lot of defensive points as well.
I mean, hopefully by them adding the Bills, Jordan Poyer and Kendall Fuller, that might help a little bit. But overall, I think this team offensively pretty much stayed the same. I don't know what value they're going to get with Odell Beckham Jr. being on the wide receiver. Maybe just some coaching and veteran stuff. But I don't see, much more value when they already have Waddle and Tyreek Hill.
Where's the defense?
Right.
Where is their defense? God damn it!
But the thing is that they did add a new defensive coordinator, which is from the Ravens, which is Daniel Weaver, who's coming over to hopefully change some things in the defense. It remains to be seen.
Do they have the players though? Do they have the studs on defense?
They have defense. I don't know.
Studs.
Like I kind of. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I don't know. I kind of try to dig a little deep on what their defense, but like he just said, like they added, what was the guy that you just mentioned earlier that Miami added as far as the defense?
No, they lost Lawrence Phillips.
But who did they replace him with?
Nobody.
Well, then there you go. Trash.
Nobody.
Trash.
Trash.
So we'll see. But I mean, look, 10-7 was their last year.
So tell you that they signed Calais Campbell. You guys remember him?
Oh yeah,
So-
but he's like on his last.
But that's the
year.
thing. He's older, so that was kind of their replacement, on the defensive line. They do have Jordan Brooks at linebacker and Agba. Obviously, Jalen Ramsey and Kendall Fuller are still there, but they're not. I mean, Jordan Pryor is probably their biggest defensive addition in the safety, but their defensive line just went down. Their linebacker core went down, so that's tough.
So, are they good for 10.5 wins? Because I think that's what their line is.
You look at that lineup. I got them at the under.
2,
I'm taking the under
3,
at 9.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Actually, I'm sorry. The 9 is 9.5 wins.
Yeah, I got them under at 9.
Damn, you know what's
They
funny?
might not win a game after November 29th.
Yeah, I got them.
Come on, LA's in the dome,
November 29th. No, you got at
and then
Green Bay.
and then the
You got
Niners is
division
at
game.
home.
Even though the Jets is at home, it's a division game. Away at Texas. Texas is a good team. The weather doesn't matter. That one, that's just a good team.
For sure.
Yeah.
At Santa Clara on Sunday,
Yeah.
and then at Cleveland. If Cleveland, we know how they are on defensively, and then Jets.
Yeah.
If that's playing for the playoffs.
I actually
got them at 9 too.
at 9.
I got them at 9 too.
Like I said, they have a good, easy schedule,
You
but
see,
that
have them at
schedule's
9.
hard at
both
the
of you,
end.
both of you are taking the under.
Yeah, I'm taking under. I got them at 9.
I'm taking the over.
taking over.
I'm taking the over. I think they're gonna have the same record.
Their last 6 games are all potentially playoff teams.
How
Sure.
many games they gonna win, Zan?
I have them winning the same as last year, 10-7, maybe even 11.
11.
But I mean, you
But
make good points. You make good
I like to
points.
play devil's advocate for you. The same reason you think the Bills are taking it down is because they got worse. The Dolphins theoretically got worse.
I think I think the Dolphins are still the same team.
I think they're
I think
still
they
the
are.
same thing.
Still
Yeah,
exactly the same team.
But then if the Jets get better, you got to count that into the division game.
The thing is that on the schedule, I have the Dolphins beating the Bills both times and splitting against the Jets.
Both times is crazy.
But that's how much of a decline I believe that the Bills are going to be. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does make sense.
So that's making up for the losses they're going to have towards the end of the year. So I think that's a one-game swing towards the end of the year based on his theory because of the weather. But, again, they're going to...
It's not a theory. It's a proven
There you go.
fact.
Proven.
The Dolphins and Tua cannot play in cold weather.
But like you said earlier, that they're going to start strong. They're going to maybe even be undefeated for... Well, yeah, they're going to be undefeated for until, week 8? I think after the
Undefeated.
I don't think they lose until maybe the 16th of December against the Texans.
Undefeated is crazy. I don't know, bro.
They ain't sweeping the Bills.
I think they're sweeping the Bills for me.
Nah, bro.
And then they lose, and they go.
think,
They go.
I mean,
I think
at Seattle's not a cakewalk.
I think you're underestimating.
there's too much
Josh
offense
Allen.
for Seattle.
I think you're underestimating Josh Allen.
Fine, if you want to be fair,
Yeah.
if you want to be a little bit more, if I want to be a little bit more harsher, they're going to be 4-0. Then they play the Jets and lose, but then they win out and they win until they play the Texans, because it's basically they're the same team. It's going to be a shootout. It's going to be 100-100. That game.
I mean,
Taking under.
they did put 7 up last year on the Broncos, so
Right. So, I mean, that's just. I think again, going back to the question is, are they going to win more than 9.5 games?
No.
no.
I say
They win
yes.
9.
I got the under.
I got 9 too, Scotty.
Yep.
Okay. Well, there you go. That was actually really good. I like that.
So we all got Jets. Essentially.
Yeah, I mean, if you
so at
put
the end of the day,
Sure.
Yeah,
going back to
AFC
the division.
Yeah, if you go back to the FanDuel odds, please.
Oh, for sure. Got the Dolphins. Yeah, they scraping to the playoffs this year.
It's the one that FanDuel, and it shows, I think, Buffalo Bills as the favorite, then the Jets, then
Yeah, Bills were favorite.
Bills,
Yep.
Jets.
That one. Yep.
Miami.
Yeah.
There it is.
So Jets at plus 170 is where the money should go.
Not a ton of value, but
No, but
I mean, if you're going to parlay it or whatever, I would suggest taking the Jets here. Of course, we're banking that as long as Aaron Rodgers stays healthy, then go ahead. But
the good news with the Jets is per other teams. I think Miami's, for example, is if Miami loses a receiver, I don't think they sustain it. I think the Jets could almost lose any receiver, and Rodgers is so good that it doesn't affect wins and outcomes. Like Garrett Wilson is a game changer, don't get me wrong, but I don't think he determines wins and losses.
What more weapons?
When you have Aaron Rodgers, Tyreek Hill determines wins and losses for the Dolphins.
I agree.
So you're not as dependent on the rest of the roster. All you're dependent on is Aaron Rodgers for the Jets. So that's why it's a little bit more money. It's good money because you're not invested in anybody else.
Didn't Miami draft another wide receiver? Who was also crazy fast.
No, I don't think
Miami,
so.
no, not Miami.
They just have stud receivers and stud running backs that are crazy fast.
Right, because Mostert's still there, Achane is still there.
Yep. They even drafted another running back.
Oh, they did. That
Yeah,
was
they
also
drafted
fast.
another running back
Who's
that was
super
fast.
fast.
Yeah.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They got a running back. Yes, I didn't know that.
And then Waddle, Tyreek, and then Odell Beckham. That's just insane.
Yeah, they just.
Yeah,
Who's the tight end?
Marty
It's,
McFly?
Hunter Henry.
Is it really?
I think so. I think
So he
went
has
over
to
there.
be splitting time with someone else. Probably a rookie.
Yeah, probably.
There's no way. It's just him.
Oh,
Check out the depth chart. We're going to be moving on to the NFC. NFC is not as exciting, low key. More drama than it is exciting. I'm not going to lie. I mean, as the NFC, if we can put up the NFC, the odds brought by FanDuel, they actually have I think it's the Cowboys up top.
Trash.
Yeah. Actually, no, I'm lying. They have it's the Eagles being favored, and it's the Cowboys, Commanders, and then the Giants. If we pull up that,
I think that is, if I had to give, that is my lineup of how they finished in the division. Although
I agree.
that plus 1,100 is worthy of that $50 division bet.
Yeah, I definitely want to talk about that because there's definitely a ton
Jaden
of value
Daniels
there.
is the guy.
Yes.
He is him.
I like.
Really?
See his
the way-
first pass yesterday?
No, I didn't see it.
First pass, 50-yard bomb,
Yeah.
perfect
It
over
was
the
same one
shoulder.
that he had his first career.
Yep,
college.
his first career completion. 50-yard bomb over the shoulder.
Marty, run the tape.
Run the tape.
He made all 22.
God damn it! I said run it now.
If we could put up last year's schedule, that'd be great. As you saw that last year, the Cowboys were in the won the division by going 12-5. The Eagles right behind them at 11-6, with having their mid-season life crisis. After a great start. Nonetheless, right under them was the Giants at 6-11. Of course, the Commanders in shambles at 4-13. But this year is a brand new year, and I'm really excited to see how this is going to transition. Based with all the off-season drama, baby. It's the NFC East record from last year. But, lots of changes.
So which one are we talking about first?
Oof.
Bottom of the barrel?
Giant.
We could let's do the bottom
Yeah.
row. Let's start with the
'Cause-
Giants.
So
The
obviously
Giants.
the biggest thing of the Giants is they lost their playmaker who actually went to the Eagles.
Exactly. So they put the Giants schedule, please.
Saquon. However, Giants have my pick as the rookie of the year. So there's a prop bet to put in now. Malik Neighbors, rookie of the year.
I don't.
If you take out offensive rookie of the year, take that out because rookie of the year always goes a quarterback. But you take that out, offensive rookie of the year, Malik Neighbors going to be.
I love Malik
stud.
Neighbors.
He's going to be a stud.
Yeah, for sure. It's just like he's vulnerable to
Nah.
Daniel Jones.
No, he's not. I'm telling you, Neighbors is that good. He's not vulnerable to anybody.
Jesus.
Mark my word
That is-
here. Malik Neighbors.
That is
This guy
a
know what
bold
he is
statement.
Justin Jefferson.
This guy knows what he's talking about.
I'm
He
telling
always know
you.
what he's talking about.
Move Malik Neighbors up in your fantasy draft. Neighbors is him.
You still need someone to throw him the ball.
No, he don't.
You-
No, he don't.
You're saying
he
that-
does
you're
not
say-
need anybody to
you're
throw
saying
him
I
the
can
ball.
Just toss the ball up in the air. He'll
But what does Daniel Jones do best? Just throw the ball in the air.
Man, that's just
You don't
a
have
recipe.
to.
That's a recipe for disaster.
That's why they didn't trade it. If you watch Hard Knocks, is why they didn't trade out. They got some really good deals to trade out of that. They didn't because Malik Neighbors. You throw the ball in a 5-foot vicinity of this guy, he's catching it.
Okay, fine.
I'm telling you, Malik Neighbors.
Right
Look
now,
up-
FanDuel has them for
Let's look
6.5
what his-
wins. Are they under or over 6.5 wins?
Now we talk about the wins.
6.5 wins? It's crazy.
Yep.
I don't think they're a good football team.
They were 6-11 last year. Are they going to do 7? Look at the schedule.
Who do they beat?
So Vikings. That's a good game.
That is a good game. Who do they beat?
Cowboys they lose. Eagles they lose. Panthers they beat.
They split with
Cowboys they lose. Falcons could lose. Commanders could lose. Seahawks could
They're not
lose.
winning against-
Steelers
They're
could
definitely
lose.
win. The definites, I think they're going to win. I think they're going to win against the Vikings.
Saints.
The Panthers, the Saints.
6.
The Colts they could potentially beat,
They
but they could also lose.
Oh, I got them at 6. It all depends.
Yeah,
What about the Falcons? And
I got
and
the under
Colts?
on that.
I think they might.
You think the last? The
Colts are going to be a better team this year than people expect.
Yeah.
yeah, you think-
I got
Especially with
6.5.
back.
Take
What's
the
Robinson?
under, which is also why Vegas has them at -150 on that as well.
I got them at 6, maybe. Or 6.5.
Yeah.
It all depends. It all depends on the Colts to me. If the Colts are better than they were last year, then I think they win. Wait, is that a home game? The Blue Games a home game? Oh yeah, they play at home. Give me 7. I think they.
You taking the over.
Taking the over plus 122.
Yeah, I'm taking the over.
I mean, look,
They win
they got-
7.
like you said, yeah, Malik Neighbors. You said that's the dude. Devin Singletary is going to be the new back. Again, it's still Daniel Jones. It's still Daniel Jones.
Who? Daniel Jones. Who? Daniel Jones. Jones.
I mean, they lost Xavier McKinney, but they picked up Brian Burns. I mean, I'm going to help him out on some defense. But
I mean, yeah,
ultimately,
Burns is a top 3 defensive lineman.
That's what I'm saying.
That was a
give
huge
me
offseason
7.
tradition.
You know what? I give me 7. They win 7.
I think they do exactly the same thing.
They were
I
so
think they do exactly
horrifically
the same
bad
as
last year, though.
6-11.
They were so bad last year that it's hard for them to be that bad again. Because on paper, they theoretically got better. I mean, Saquon, yeah, they lost him, but Malik Neighbors is a huge addition for them. I mean, they had no wide receivers.
I'm curious. I'm really curious to see what Neighbors is going to do. Like, I get that he's great, but you saying that you can go throw the football and he'll make a few touchdowns.
Marty
Hey,
McFly is the quarterback.
We'll
I mean-
see, baby. That's a bold statement. Marty can go out there and throw
can go out-
touchdowns.
Marty could.
Hey, man, put Put a helmet on. Put a helmet on.
You ready, McFly? Hey.
You just go in the huddle and be like, hey, look, Malik, go
deep.
straight.
Go deep.
I'll try to get it to you. That's it. Make it happen.
Right before you snap the ball, do this.
Right. I like the under here. I think just because of the division, I think they're not going to win very many games. And, I mean, that schedule isn't the hardest schedule in the world, but which I know they can sneak in some wins, which is why I could see why it's the line's at 6.5. But I don't think they escaped that many in their situation. I mean, their defense isn't that much better, so it's the same. And their offense, I mean, yeah, like you said, they lost Saquon Barkley, but they lost a really good prime wide receiver to get a prime running back to get a fresh new wide receiver. You need a quarterback for that. You got to get him how else are you going to get him the ball?
For sure.
So we'll see. The next one I definitely wanted. Let's go ahead and pull up the Commanders.
Just real quick, plus 1,400 from Malik Neighbors, Offensive Rookie of the Year.
That is
Just put it out there.
I think it would have to be like
might sprinkle a little
2,000,
50 on it.
2,500 to want me to put any money on it.
Who's number one?
I mean, obviously, Caleb Williams.
Yeah,
and then
Caleb
Jaden
Williams.
Daniels, too. Even Jaden Daniels at plus 600 would be my second.
That's my favorite.
That's my favorite
But there's
overall
probably
bet.
not as much value in that one.
It's not as much, but
Like,
quarterbacks just take, the cake when it comes to the voting. So
Yeah, for sure.
Well, as we move on to the Commanders had one of the worst records in the NFL league last year at 4-13. Although this Commanders team this year is completely transformed, especially now that they have Dan Quinn as their head coach.
organization's completely
Yeah, the whole thing is transformed.
New
They got
GM, new ownership,
new quarterback, new
ownership,
new ownership.
new GM. Our boy Cliff Kingsbury's there as the offensive coordinator.
Yep.
All right, new name.
Debo's boy.
They might go back
Yeah,
to the
probably
Redskins.
going to be a new name. They're going back.
Yeah, they might go back to the Redskins. Who knows?
Redskins, for sure.
But for this year, they stay at the Commanders, and like I said, they were 4-13 last year. This is not going to be a reflection coming in this year, and I think that we're all are here to wait and see like what that really is going to, anticipate to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right now, the books have it at 6.5 as their over in their wins. I'm curious to see what your takes are, but what do you think? You don't have to tell me wins and losses just yet, but
I think the
as far as any
Commanders
additions and
are a
losses-
hugely improved football team. Obviously, Jaden Daniels is the biggest one. Then they got
Marcus Mariota as a backup.
Yeah, I mean that's garbage, trash. But Terry McLaurin is probably one of the most underrated receivers. He's had trash throwing him the ball for the last 5 years,
sure.
so he's a stud. He
has someone that
he
can
truly
really
is
get
a
to him.
stud, and he's been a perennial All Pro. When he has had trash thrown to him, so they have offensive weapons. They got the guy over from the Chargers came over, who's another weapon. The running back from the Chargers.
Austin Eckler.
Austin Eckler.
They got a better offensive line.
I
this year.
love
Right side.
my favorite rookie tight end sleeper in fantasy drafts is Ben Sinnott. That's their tight end this year. He's a stud.
Who was it last year?
Their tight end
Yeah.
was Logan Thomas.
Logan. What happened to him? He retired.
No, actually let go. No, Niners signed him. The Niners just cut him actually on Saturday. So he's kind of washed up. But yeah, so their offense is really good. Now the Commanders have had a stud D line for that's kind of been their MO for the last 2 years. So they have a good defensive line, one of the better lines in the league. So they are definitely one of those surprise teams for. Well, once again, they play in a really tough division.
They are in a very tough division, especially with obviously like we still the Eagles and the Cowboys who are really going to be the ones that are.
But Jaden Daniels is a playmaker. I think he's going to have a good season.
That's actually my pick. I mean, we haven't really got into like rookie who's going to be the rookie of the year, but that's my actual pick is Jaden Daniels. He's just that dynamic, and I think he fits very well here, especially with the Dan Quinn system. I mean, I'm kind of like he's a better defensive coordinator than maybe a head coach. I know he went to the Super Bowl, but that was the historic 27.
Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan got into the Super Bowl that year.
Again. So we'll see, right? But I mean, I think Dan definitely deserves that McCaffrey, which is Christian McCaffrey's brother,
younger brother.
who they drafted in the first round. Or
No, he was
second?
fourth or
Oh, it was
fifth.
Oh, because he was way down there.
Yeah, he was still a third or fourth round pick.
Who did they draft as first round?
Jaden Daniels.
Sorry, second round. Second round.
What do we got in the second round?
Because I'm actually curious to see like what did they move to right after that? But of course, like you said, Austin Eckler, and they still have Brian Robinson, who's also a stud. But I mean, with this new roster, I think they definitely.
So it's Jazon Newton out of Illinois, defensive line, and then a cornerback in the second round, and then tight end Ben Sinnott out of Kansas State, who's a stud.
That's your sleeper.
Yeah, as a sleeper tight end pick this year. So, and then Luke McCaffrey was a third round pick. But yeah, they definitely upgraded. 2 of their 3 picks were defensive.
So with that said, Debo, what do you think? Are they going under or over 6.5 games?
I'll take the under for 2,000, Jim. I mean, I just think their schedule. I think they got a schedule. I think they have a tough schedule. Like Scotty said, I mean, I don't know, man. These new quarterbacks, they just come into the league sometimes. They got to prove themselves.
And they do. You're right.
It's not college. I mean, it's not college no more. You're going against all these top-minded defensive coordinators, all these defensive studs. I'm not too sure about the offensive line, but I'm taking the under.
I mean, those were one of the weaknesses that they had last year. They didn't have a strong offensive line, which is why their quarterback. Who was that guy? I forget his name.
Sam Howell.
Sam Howell was running for his life. He was the most hit quarterback.
Yeah. He's the most sacked quarterback
in the league last year.
Yes,
so how much has that changed? But I mean, Daniels is more mobile than Sam Howell.
Yeah, for sure. But still, though, he's not proven in the NFL. A lot of these kids come in with a lot of pressure on their back and a lot of high demands. I'm just going with the under until he prove me otherwise.
What do you think? 6.5 or under?
It's a tough one. I mean, 6. One thing why Vegas is good sometimes is 6 is that magic number where I think they get 6 wins easily. It's this one game to swing in their favor. Yeah. So, what's the spread? Negative 160 for the over.
Can you actually put up the screen for the 6.5 wins?
Boom, graphics.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so negative 115 for the over. So this is where you're at negative 105 for the under. So it's a pretty even push here for the over under. It's literally even Vegas is split on it.
Pick 'em. Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally a pick 'em.
I like the over here. I think it's a better squad, better organization, better foundation. And I think that when they come off, I think they're going to start winning some games off the bat. I think they win against the Cardinals, Panthers, obviously the Titans.
But this is one of those teams where it's kind of the opposite of the Dolphins. Pay attention to is they could start slow, new team, new everything, and as they start to gel, they have the talent to get on fire the last half.
I agree.
And then if you look at the schedule, do they get Saints, Titans? They're looking, and then once this team gels, they could be a team that could upset. That Eagles Cowboys look to be playing for their playoff lives and for first round bye, and Commanders could be one of those teams that kind of knock them out of the playoffs or knock them out of the division.
For sure.
I don't know, Memphis. I'm going with the under 6.5.
I'll take the over. I think they go and get at least 7, and they might surprise us and sneak in if they start going on a nice run where it favors them especially towards, like you said, like the end of the season. They start off kind of like close to 500, but towards the end of the season, they start really figuring themselves out and start winning out towards the end to sneak into the playoffs and potentially even sneak. I'll take a future on the Washington Commanders.
Nah, get the rookie out of here.
I mean, they could start off like 6-3 or 4-4 pretty easily. I mean,
they could.
Panthers, Bears, Giants twice, Cardinals, Bucks are all winnable games for them.
Correct. That's how I see it too.
Cleveland's a tough one, but doesn't mean it's impossible. Obviously, Bengals, Ravens, I'd give them the L on that one. And then as Steelers, who knows what the Steelers are at by then.
I'm putting a lot of faith in this rookie quarterback. I know he's nice, but we're talking about the NFL. It's not college no more.
No, I agree, but I think the way to look at it too is they won 4 games last year?
Yes.
With the worst quarterback statistically in the league last year. He was worse than Daniel Jones last year.
Yeah, because of the offensive line though.
So you got to take a look at that. But yeah, you got to put your faith in the quarterback.
Overall, you're taking under.
I'm taking the over with you.
Over. I love it. All right. Let's move on. Taking it on to the Eagles, baby. Shee. I don't know. The Eagles are kind of. I mean, I'm really curious to see what they're going to really do. I mean, I know that last year there was a big controversy with the head coaching position because of their mid-season or midlife crisis season, if you will, because they started really well, but then they started just falling off a cliff.
Yeah, they did.
And they didn't really get much better towards the end of the season. That cliff continually kept falling right into the playoffs.
It did.
I'm just, as of right now, it looks like that their under-over is, I can't even see. What is it?
10.5.
10.5. With their changes, are they going to win or be
What crucial changes?
Under-
What crucial changes have they made during the offseason?
The Eagles.
Yes.
So the big thing is they lost to Son Reddick, who actually went to the Jets, and we didn't even mention that addition. If he ends up playing with the Jets,
Right.
makes their defense even that much better.
That was like breaking news. Just like a couple
Yeah, they got
minutes ago.
Saquon Barkley obviously on offense, which I think is a better playmaker running back. But it's not like they've been hindered at the running game. So that was the biggest thing. I think last year just the Niners broke them, and then they just lost their play call and their mojo the way they're doing.
Yep.
I mean, AJ Brown was going back and looking at the all-22 tape. I mean, he's open on so many plays, and Hurts isn't throwing the ball. They have AJ Brown running just straight routes instead of like actually play calling. So
I think you can tell that like
I don't
Jalen
want the
Hurts
Eagles to
is
be
scared
better,
to throw
but
it, for sure.
But it's not hard to make them better. They have a dominant roster.
I agree. I mean, look, like you said, they obviously lost Hassan Reddick, but they also lost Jason Kelsey, right? He retired. They do have a new offensive coordinator with Keller Moore, which came from the Cowboys. And I mean, they did bring in Saquon Barkley. Defense is still mediocre at best. If to me, I don't think he got any better. But like you said, I think that the offense we'll see based on the play calling. But I think that this year, I think they're going to gel a little bit better. The tush push is still there. There's no ban on that. I still think that they can still execute.
No, it shouldn't. I mean, and then they drafted. I mean, their secondary is definitely their weak link last year. Both of their top two picks were cornerbacks. One is actually the top-rated cornerback in the draft, and the second player they drafted is my favorite cornerback in the draft, white kid out of Iowa. So they got. I mean, obviously they're rookies once again, but a lot of times cornerbacks can just start and play right away because it's shut down man.
For sure.
So they improved their secondary, which was actually their weakest link.
So, are they winning? Are you going under or over 10.5 wins?
Over 10.5 wins. Pull that schedule up one more time.
Yeah.
Marty.
Unfortunately, I don't want. I hate the Eagles being good, but I'm going over on that one as well.
You gonna do the over?
They'll rebound.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Just my initial mind want to say that they're going to go they're going to go over 10.5 wins. But if they start off the season how they ended it, I could see their season going down the toilet. And if their season goes down the toilet, I think they break this team up and try to, whatever, get their stuff back together. I don't know. But I think they win against the Pack. Green Bay? I think they win at Green Bay.
That's in Brazil.
In Brazil, exactly.
So there's no home field
There's
advantage.
no home field advantage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, they win. They beat Green Bay. Tampa, Cleveland, they lose. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got them winning 9 games. I'm going with the under.
I got the over.
I got the over. I got the over too.
I got them winning 9 games.
I don't win
Taking
11.
the under.
I think they win 12-5. I think they go 12-5. I think they're just going to be a solid team. It's going to be those. They're going to lead the NFC East here throughout the whole season.
12-6.
Sorry,
12-6?
it's 12-6.
17 games.
17 games, right?
Yeah. 17 games.
Well, 12-5. 17 games.
I think they start the season off.
My bad.
I think they start the season off how they finished it last year. They go down in a spiral, flush them down the toilet. 9 games. Do they make the playoffs this year? Nah, I think a surprise
You're
team come out.
tripping.
9-7
You're
won't make it.
tripping. Are you kidding?
I am not mad. As a betting man, I'm gonna take the over, but I want what Debo's saying
I mean,
to happen.
for
I don't
sure.
think they make. I don't think they
Let them
make-
spiral
I
out
don't
of
think
control.
Come down
I
to
think they
earth.
Let them spiral out of control.
I think they spiral. I think they spiral out of control.
What?
Yeah, they spiral out of control. They leave. They start off where they left off last year, and they don't even make the playoffs. Give me 9 wins for them.
You're tripping. 12-5. They're gonna just keep winning. They'll have a loss here and there, but I don't think they're gonna go through like a losing streak where they're just constantly declining. The only way that I feel like that's gonna happen is if like Jalen Hurts gets hurt and another wide receiver gets hurt.
I don't think it
or
takes
like,
Jalen Hurts to
and
get
they
hurt
gotta
for them
stay
to
healthy.
decline. Yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
it takes
for
Jalen
sure.
Hurts for them to.
For sure. And they
on
got to stay
decline.
healthy, too.
I mean,
Put them in a coffin.
There you go.
Every team's got to stay healthy.
Let's say that does happen. Let's say you go on a Let's say you go on a 4-game losing streak. Head coach out.
Hell yeah.
Oh, because of the
They was 4 in a row?
Because of the media pressure.
Hell yeah.
I don't think 4 in a row. I think 5 in a row.
Sirianni was
out.
almost out last year after
what I'm
that.
saying.
Like they
After
barely
a
brought
Super
him
Bowl, that's
back.
crazy,
That's what I
though.
said. They
That's
lose-
crazy.
They lose their 4th game. I think
Yeah.
But there's
Culture
not like,
change.
That's crazy.
Time for a culture
That
change,
is
though.
insane.
They got to rebuild.
think about it though. He's on the hot seat
All the Eagles players like they did
again.
Right, really.
Man,
Right.
12-5.
And he took them to the Super Bowl and all that. Like
12-5.
Unfortunately,
Mark my words, 12-5.
Nah, 9-8.
Take the over. I'm taking the over.
9-8.
If you can pull up the schedule for me, please, that'll be great. As we know, last year, they're the ones that won the division at 12-5. They did stay undefeated at home until they lost in the first round of the playoffs
in Cowboy fashion.
in Cowboy fashion. But this year, the books have adjusted their line, and now their under over is at 9.5 wins.
Oh,
That's crazy.
wow, that's
Right.
crazy. Disrespectful.
Over.
9.5 wins.
Disrespectful.
Once
Are you
again,
taking the under? Or are you taking the over, sir?
I'm taking the over, man.
Over
they beat the
10.
Eagles twice. They beat up on Cleveland. They beat up on the Texans. They split with Washington. Ooh, they beat.
I mean, you got to give them
Tampa Bay.
nine of their games this year at home.
Man,
I mean,
listen.
they're that good at home. There's 9 right there.
Man, listen.
Or there's
And-
8, right?
They lose at Santa Clara.
And they beat the shit out of San Francisco in Santa Clara. They win 12 games this year.
You say they go 12, so you're saying 12-5.
I'm saying 12-5.
So you're taking the over. What are you taking?
Over.
I think they go. I did take the over, but I don't think they go 12-5. I think it's easy that they go 11-6.
Ironically, I'm treating the Dallas Cowboys like the Buffalo Bills, baby. I think they have a decline with winning 9-8.
9-8.
Yes. I think they
All right, so here's the thing: I'm wondering. This is actually a low line. One of this line is reflecting CeeDee Lamb not being signed, and if he gets signed, does Vegas move this needle up to 10 with CeeDee Lamb being signed?
You know, that's actually a pretty good point. I don't
So,
know. I think that
it might be something worth getting in today for those
Well, you
people
said-
out there. If CeeDee Lamb gets signed by tomorrow.
Didn't you say you saw a tweet just now?
Yeah, Pretty Ricky's saying he's got a $33.5 million offer on the table, which would make him the highest paid receiver.
And then
In the
that
league.
just brings into Ayuk only wanting even more money.
Yep.
Fuck! Going to the Steelers. God
Put them in
damn
the
it.
coffin. Right.
God damn it. Yeah, I mean,
Sign
look,
that man, get that man.
Yeah, that's a good bet. I mean, even at 10, even like you said, like even if they have a decline down to 10, and that's still an easy over. But
Well, it's
it is negative 144 again. So this is one of those other ones we talked about with the Jets. Like buy that up to 10.5. Buy that up to 10.5.
but like let's look at logistically, right? Like they lost their defensive coordinator. Dan Quinn's got his own head coaching job, which is now in division rival, right? Matt.
Yeah.
What's his name? Farnoik or whatever. He's
Yep.
gone. It's remains to be seen on what's going to happen with their offensive line. I mean, they didn't do anything. Zeke is back, but it's not the Zeke that we saw 4 or 5 years ago.
No, there's actually a training camp picture of him running through the bags, and he like stops and almost passes out.
Bro. What?
For real, yeah.
Oh,
you can throw that. I don't know if you can find that one, but you throw that up. Zeke just literally it's just the bags. They didn't get Brandon Cooks.
He came back just to retire, bro.
That's crazy work, which is why they're going not crazy. Well, plus 175. The command low key, I would not.
Man,
But-
that money, man. Sheesh.
You were trying to put it on the Patriots.
I was just joking when I said that. It was plus 2,400, wasn't it, for the Patriots?
People were like, "Come question again."
Oh, man, shit.
You fucking it up.
Jerry Jones said I'll pay your monkey ass when I feed you.
Market.
Oh, shut up, Jerry. Any extra comment,
They have
this
Jerry.
type of stuff, you got to, as for the Dallas Cowboys organization, franchise, you got to actually to win a freaking Super Bowl. Fuck that. They're expected to win a Super Bowl every year. You don't need any type of outside.
I agree. I think you should just like Give him his money already. Stop bullshitting.
Give him his-
you know,
yeah.
He's your best.
Okay, yeah, but he was the best.
He's gonna get us 33 million.
East. I don't know what you guys think. Hopefully, he gets to take the Bills under. I think we were kind of split in the rest of them. I think there was
Yeah,
like,
sure.
tune in with us. We'll see you next time. Peace.
He has the nerve to be $200.
She's above Netflix, so $12.
Doing whatever I can to build out those Saturday, Sundays. So I definitely.